Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, welcome once again. Here we are, another Friday, TGIF, thank God. And here we are once again. Welcome aboard once again. And you're here as usual, and you're right on time. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan, and of course, we're going to be with you for a whole full hour with nothing but talk and entertainment and a whole lot of fun. We're getting set for the weekend, so just gear and rear back and get ready to go. We thank you so much for being along with us for this Friday morning. And those of you who are out there for the very first time, we welcome you aboard just as well, along with the people who are here on a regular basis. We're here and we want to get you involved in the show. And you can do that in conversation too. That's because we're live and you can talk to me, I can talk to you as well. All you have to do is just let your fingers do the walking, wiggle those fingers, exercise them right there on your keyboard, on your computer, right on your cell phone, and even on your tablet and any other device that you can get to communicate and get us on. We're right there for you. We're all around the world. We're global, and we're so glad to have you aboard with us. Those of you who are just joining us for the first time, remember that we're at 3 different places. We're here live on Facebook. And we're on YouTube as well as being live on Instagram. We're on those 3 places. So all you have to do is pick your poison, whatever you want to do, be there, and you'll see us just the same. We're so glad to have you aboard with us. People are starting to come in now, and we want to just say hi to each and every one of you guys on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram as well. Remember that we're here in conjunction with all of those 3 places. You can do me a big solid, if you will, all right? If you're watching us on Facebook, take the time to tag this show to all of your friends. You can do that. That's a big possibility you can do that. Now, maybe not all of them, maybe just a select few, or maybe 1 or 2, it doesn't matter, but the more the merrier. You can tag them right now, get them involved. And of course, when you tag them, they'll see that notification, they'll see it's coming from you, and they'll click onto it because they trust you, right? And they'll bring you right to us, and they'll see you, they'll see me, and everyone else that's here as well. If you're watching us on YouTube, okay, here's another thing that you can do. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. All you have to do is when you're on the channel and you're there right now, all you have to do is take your mouse on your computer and click on where it says subscribe, right? You click on that button where it says subscribe, and that's all you have to do. No money involved, nothing like that. No, all you have to do is just click on. Now, the benefit of being a member and subscribing to the YouTube channel is that every time now from here on in, when you are there online and we post something live, as much as a video, or if we come on live, such as we're doing right now, you get a notification and a reminder that we're out there, and all you have to do is click on to that notification and it brings you right to the channel automatically. That's all it takes. So there's not a lot of rooting to do. Just click that button and you're right there. Those of you who are watching us on Instagram, all we have to do is just to tell you is to keep following us and keep telling your family and friends about us. Get them in on the action. And bring them in on the show too. And of course, as usual, if they like what they see or like what they hear, they could become full-fledged member. Because really, even if you're new here, you get the you're no different from the other person that's been here a long time. You're just as equal. That's the way we do things around here. So we want to thank you guys for being along with us. We've got a lot of things to talk about today. And as usual, we are going to have Brian Camp, because we're going to link up with him. Charlotte, North Carolina. He's going to be here, and he's going to bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports. The name of his show is called Sports Update. And of course, when he comes in, you'll get a chance to see him if you're watching us on Facebook, if you're watching us on YouTube. However, Instagram is a different thing. You could hear him, but you won't be able to see him. Not set up to do any kind of split screen or anything like that. I really hope in the future that Instagram would, do that, have the ability to let us do that. Right now, it doesn't happen that way. But you could still hear him and you could still talk to him as well. He'll we'll give you that information. All you have to do is just type in. I'll see it. I'll relay it to him. But the rest of you who are watching us on Facebook, he'll see you as well, and he can ask all of your questions, anything about sports, and that's all coming up too. And of course, later on in the program, when we end it all, before we end it all, we're going to have, as usual, our picks of the week for your weekend. What are the picks of the week? Movies. I know you like those old classic movies. So what I do each week is go to Turner Classic Movies and, take my picks of the week, and relay them to you later on and add to your bucket list of what to watch on TV this weekend. There's a lot of things you could be doing. And if you're under good conditions as far as your weather is concerned, well, you can go out, you can do this, you can do that. But some people just like to relax at home. And sometimes it may be a good time to catch up on some old movies. So I'm just going to add a few of those movies to your bucket list of what to watch. It's all coming up later on in the program. We thank you so much. And remember that all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, the Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any social media outlet or broadcast facility. So we got that out of the way. We thank you. And listen, what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee, right? So let's raise our glasses as usual, our cups, and anything that you have in that cup. Salute. And excuse me while I shoot up. It's warm. No, but the coffee is cold. But I'm just saying it's warm outside. We had a lot of warm weather here in New York, and it continues, and it's a yo-yo effect. Sometimes we get extremely warm weather, and sometimes, it gets moderate. But listen, it's summertime, and this is what we expect, and we're enjoying it. And we're just about halfway down the line of July. We already celebrated the 4th of July holiday, and before you know it, we'll be in the month of August, and boy, time really goes fast. So, savor the moment of summer. Your summertime people, savor the moment. A lot of people are going on vacation. They're flying off to other places. They're doing this and they're doing that. And so just enjoy it while you may. See, I'm a summertime person. And I hate to see when the summer rolls out and the winter comes in. But look, you know what? Let me put it another way to you. I love seeing the winter come in. I love being alive to see all of those cold weather forecasts right on the air and give me the information that I should bundle up real warm when I get out there. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But right now it's summer, and of course we thank you so much for being along with us once again. It's the Coffee Hour, and just in case you're just joining us, howdy howdy. Tell your friends about us. Okay, that's all you have to do. We've got a lot of things to talk about today. And we want to get right into the thing. Now, by the way, we always ask you guys, if you're coming in, and if you want to indulge in conversation with me, please feel free. We always encourage you to do that because we like to address you personally as well. We would like to say hi to you. A lot of people just like to sit back and watch the show and not get involved, but that's okay too. You may be at your work right now. If you're in the same time zone as I am, then chances are you're probably at work, and it's probably a coffee break for you at this particular time. Take that coffee break, stay right there at your computer and watch the show, and just relax, okay? And you don't have to roam around the office, just sit at your computer and watch the show. And when your coffee hour is over, which is what, 15 minutes, when that's all over, you'll still be at your desk and you can go back to work and you can do what they call multitasking. And some people gather around the water cooler talking about what happened last night, talking about the issues of the day or whatever it is. But stay at your desk. And those of you who are out there watching, we hope that you could stay with us for the whole full hour. If you can, whatever amount of time that you could spend with us, we really would appreciate it. So again, thank all of you for being with us, one and all, on the Coffee Hour. Boy, a lot of things to talk about. And we're going to get into the meat of the show. Okay, here's a little sad news in the entertainment business. We talk about that every once in a while. Veteran actress from the soap of the 80s, One Life to Live, that went back to the 80s. The actress, the key actress in that program was Andrea Evans. Andrea Evans died, by the way. She died this past Sunday at her home in Pasadena, California, from a battle of cancer. That's breast cancer that she had. And you might remember Andrea when she played the villainess as Tina Lord on that show. And she is 60, so was 66 years old. She turned 66 years old. And you also might have seen her on some of the other soap operas that she's done. And most of the characters that she played were characters that were villains, you know, and she was playing the characters that a lot of people love to hate, you know. Anyway, she passed away last Sunday, so we want to send out all of our condolences out to her, her family, her friends, her colleagues, her former colleagues, all the people that remembered her. Some of the people made dedications to her or paid tribute to her. Some of her former actors on One Life to Live came out and did that for her. So we just want to share our feelings to her family and friends. And of course, we're going to really miss her. I'm going to really miss her. As a matter of fact, later on, probably later on in the day or over the weekend, I'm going to scroll through YouTube and look at some of the footage that she did back then. That was a great show back then. It was great soap operas. They were all there. And also in the news, you know, and one of the biggest news right now that we've got going right now, and it's kind of sad in a way, because not only is it going to affect the people that's involved, but it's also going to affect TV viewers, people like you and I. And if you're a big fan of TV, well, look at it this way. You know, the union, SAG and AFTRA. Now, you know, their contract expired. You already heard about that. It's all over TV. It's big news. It's all over TV. Their contract expired. And leaders of Hollywood Actors Union voted Thursday to join screenwriters. They're on strike right now in the first joint strike. They're joint. That's the writers and the actors. They're striking together. And this strike goes back to 6 decades ago when that happened before, when they had a joint strike like that, like a long time ago. So here we are once again. And it was 6 decades, and they're shutting down production. A lot of things are being shut down right now across the entertainment industry after talks for a new contract. They're looking for a new contract and studio streamings and services that broke them down. So their fight is that with this new technology, it's kind of cramping everything. And that's to be expected, because everybody they're falling out of work and they're getting less work than they did once before. And it's the same thing when I was in radio, when I was a radio disc jockey. I mean, we had radio personalities where you had about 5 or 6 disc jockeys per station, maybe 7 disc jockeys, counting some disc jockeys for the weekend shifts. And we had all of that. And now it's down to basically nothing, because of what they're doing everything now these days. They still have a few live people on the radio, but what they're doing now these days is what they call voice imaging. In other words, the announcers, they cut their tracks and then they blend it with the music, and you know, it just put a lot of people out to work. And it's the same thing with the acting business. People are getting less work. They're getting less pay. They're not getting the pay that they once had because of the transition and replacement. And you already noticed that if you watch TV a lot, you know, they have these images of people who are not real, but they're actors. They're not real, but they're actors. And you've probably seen them. They're kind of like animated characters and things like that. And they're still using people for those animated characters as well. So they use live actors to do the voiceovers for them. So they get those jobs. And with the other, let's say, for instance, you watch a sitcom that they do like what? An abundance of episodes per year. And at this particular point in time, those episodes are cut because of the new technology. And so what actors have to do these days is to work, like, let's say, for instance, you work a double shift on the job to make, generate more money. They do what they do, their own shows, and then they branch off and do other shows and things like that. Now, it's kind of sticky because if you're on the contract, there's so much you can do. Sometimes contracts, they have these contracts where you can only work for that particular studio. And if another studio calls on you, they'll have to get permission from that studio to lend you out. So now you're a piece of property. But they're out there picketing now. They were out there yesterday, out in Hollywood, California. They were on the streets. They were out there in the blazing sun, holding up their signs and roaming around. And I say, I can't really blame them, because me being a union person and a union advocate, all right, I really believe in the union, and I believe that people should get paid what they owed or what they do, but they had this contract that's not even in existence anymore. And all they want is to get their residuals. Some people are not getting their residuals. And this is what they want. So they're out there picketing, they're out there on the bullhorns, and legitimate actors, the legitimate actors are out there picketing with them. I know Harrison Ford is one of them. He's out there. And of course, again, you have the writers. So without the writers, you're not going to have much of a show. So how does that affect you? How does that affect you? Well, it'll affect you in a different way. Let's say, for instance, if you watch some of the late night shows, well, those people are on strike. They have writers for those shows. If you're watching Steve Colbert or Jimmy Kimmel or one of those late night people, they're all on strike. So what happens now? Either they're going to run reruns of those shows, or maybe they have replacement shows until this whole thing spills over. And I can tell you too that you'll see probably more reality shows. I don't know if you're into reality shows. Personally, I hate reality shows, depending on what they are. It's just that I'm not going to, spend my night watching The Bachelorette or The Bachelor. I'm not going to do that. But a lot of people do like them. But you're going to probably get more of those kinds of shows. And for the people who don't like those kind of shows, well, I think you're going to be out of luck. And so what's probably going to happen is that you probably have to wind up going on YouTube and checking out the streams. And a lot of people don't have streams. And what I mean by streams is the TV programs that you see from Netflix and all of those other conglomerates. A lot of people have those, and a lot of people don't have them. And so the people who have them, well, of course, they're going to have a lot to choose from, a lot to watch. But still in all, it's all union, and you might lose some program on that. There's a lot of things that are happening. So they were out there, and they were out there in full force. And so I'm with you guys. I'm with you. I am totally with you. I think people should get what they're supposed to be getting, because, ladies and gentlemen, remember too, that all of the money that's being made is not really going to the actors. The actors are making zilch. The people who are really making the money are the people, the hierarchies, like the CEOs and the presidents and the owners of the studios. That's where all of the money is going. And of course, they always cry, well, we don't have the money. Of course you have the money. And so, and the actors and the writers, they already know that. And what they want to do, they just want to make sure that they get their fair share. So I'm with you guys. I'm 100% with you guys. And I hope everything works out. And I hope it doesn't take too long, because the longer they're out there striking, the more money is going to be lost from these people who claim they don't have the money. Now they really won't have the money to pay anyone. I'm kind of optimistic that something will come to an agreement. Something will happen, because no one wants to strike. And you got to keep in mind too, while these people are striking, they are losing money. They need the money to pay their rent. They may lose their houses, their apartments, their cars, and all of that because they don't keep up the payments, but they're willing to take that chance, and they're willing to wrestle with all of that. And so again, I want to, send all of my love out to all of those actors and my colleagues there. I know I have a lot of colleagues who are in that business and they're out there on strike. It's a Hollywood thing going on. So lots of luck to you guys. Let's go over to Charlotte, North Carolina, as we always do at this time, because Brian Camp is there. We're going to link up with him. He has the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Brian, how you doing today?
Doing well. The people that really make the money, you're right, are the people that's in charge of these studios. But unless if you box office elite, like Denzel Washington,
right,
Stallone back in the day, Bruce Willis, Tom Cruise, and Harrison Ford, these guys are box office megastars.
Absolutely.
And they contract where they get some money up front, they guarantee the money. Then anything after that, they get extra on how many people that still come and purchase their movies and everything. Like in the music business, I'm not quite sure much. You may know more about that. Michael Jackson to this very day is still probably making money off of his Thriller album.
Yeah.
And but it's like, back in the day, I guess, they didn't make a lot of money. They 10, 15 cents every time you sell a record.
Mm-hmm.
Nat King Cole is one of the great examples where he didn't make a lot of money. He didn't get endorsed.
Mm-hmm.
Those days were different, of course. But if you megastar box office hit, you're gonna make money.
Yeah.
But it's the second tier and lower that doesn't make that much money. You got to be in that top tier of actors and actresses.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Because you don't have many Denzel Washingtons and Harrison Fords and Tom Cruise. They're very little of those guys.
Yes, exactly.
And it's the other actors that can't. A lot of people think that these actors are they're like in the millionaire bracket. And they're making a lot of money. These people who are going on strike, they're going to be losing money. They may lose their homes.
Yeah. And that's why you have a union to fight for you to get a good contract.
Yeah.
I believe benefits are involved as well too.
Yeah.
Medical benefits as well, and it's important. And, athletes, this is another example. Athletes, when they retire, they want to get a good medical pension.
Mm-hmm.
They want to get what's going to set them up for life and everything. That's why they invest, invest your money. So
that business is not a guarantee. And a lot of people, and to the new actors who want up and coming, they got to be ready for that, because it's not going to be a guarantee that you're going to be elite. Not everyone does that.
Right.
You'll have to sit by the telephone waiting for calls. As some people, the elites, they don't have to worry about getting parts.
I was watching MSNBC this morning on the Morning Joe show. It was saying that this is the first time that both writers and actors went on strike since the 60s. So
1960 was the last time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I wish them luck. I don't want to see anyone out of a job or have to go.
Exactly.
I hate strikes. When and when I was in my union, I never wanted to. I always cringed when they call for possible strikes. Never did like it.
And look at ESPN when they laid off all 20 of the top people. They had to let them go. ESPN is owned by Disney.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because they did anything wrong on the air.
Mm-hmm.
It was just more of a business thing. They was making too much high salaries.
Yeah.
And you have people on social media, which I cannot understand some of these people. Why they didn't fire such and such? Why they didn't fire this person? Are we celebrating people's demise? Are we celebrating people for getting fired? Wishing?
Yeah.
I hope one day that they don't be in that position where you might be let go or they might get let go and everything,
Yeah.
But
well, the other contribution to all of this too is technology,
Yeah.
Human beings, I don't know what's going to happen to us. We're obsolete now.
I know.
These are becoming.
It's a different world now. It's a different world where technology is taking over. And just like I feel sorry, and I one more thing before I get to sports. You go into McDonald's. I'm going to use McDonald's as a great example. I feel so bad for the workers at McDonald's because now when you go into McDonald's, you don't really go up to the counter. You go up to these machines and you type in your order.
Yeah.
In the meantime, jobs are being cut now. They're not hiring because technology is taking over now.
Yeah.
So where's the job for the people that's trying to go to college and they work at McDonald's just to try to make ends meet, try to pay for their books and their education? It's really sad. This is a new time now. We live in a new era. People are staying at homes now.
Yeah.
From the office. They're not going into office anymore.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Us.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, but good morning to you all, everybody that out there that's listening. It is a beautiful, kind of gloomy day out here in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, in the Queen City is called. It is 82 degrees. We're going to have a 10% chance of rain throughout the day into the evening. That means it's not going to rain. We'll have a little sprinkle. And it's going to be high as 92 degrees today. So we're going to have some hazy, cloudy weather, but it's going to be warm. So, don't let that stop you from doing what you're doing. Go out, enjoy, but be careful when you go out. Be careful because we still live in a time where at any given time, unexpected, something could happen. So just be watchful as you go outside. In sports, Major League Baseball is finally coming back after almost a week off from their All-Star break. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. defeated Randy Arozarena in the home run derby. Now, Guerrero is the son of Hall of Fame baseball player Vladimir Guerrero Sr., who also won the home run derby 16 years ago. Father and son is the first father and son combo to ever win the home run derby. And by the way, the National League defeated the American League to stop a 9-year loser streak, 3-2. I didn't watch the game. I don't think nobody's watched the game. I can't get into these all-star games. The NFL got the Pro Bowl. Who watches that? The NBA got this all-star game. In fact, when I do watch the NBA all-star game, I just watch the halftime because they got entertainers now. They got people singing at halftime. I don't watch the game. Nobody plays defense. Baseball, it's a yawn. It's a yawn, and nobody really looks at baseball all-star games. Barely even watch baseball. But if you're a true fan, you're going to watch the game like I do. I'm a San Francisco Giant fan, and I love my Giants. In the NBA Board of Governors approved of 2 rule changes that will go into effect next season, actually this coming season. A second coach's challenge has been awarded if the first one is successful in a game. Now, that means that the referee might have not seen a call, and that would be that would cause the game. So they throw it. So the team that's challenging is arguing will throw out a challenge. If they are successful with that challenge, they get another one. If they lose it, you don't get another one. So that's how that works. So I'm glad that's going to be added because I think they needed that. Flopping is a penalty. Flopping means when somebody is acting, like we just talked about, acting like they was hit in the eye and get so theatrical about it. That's flopping. That's, acting. And if you get caught doing that, you get a penalty. You get a technical foul. So yeah. So the people that's on strike, the real actors and everything, they don't have to worry about that. But the people that's pretending to be actors, like flopping and stuff, they will be in trouble. And the people that's doing this are the group of players and union representatives, coaches, governors, executives, and referees to be implemented this coming season, as I say. Almost some tragic news, but this is a little terrible news. A Denver police officer had a below-the-knee amputation after a fire truck rolled over his leg during a celebration parade when the Nuggets won the NBA championship back in June 15th. last month. Now, Sergeant Justin Dodge was trying to protect the fans. As you know, when you have a parade, you walk along the truck, and like they're on a float celebrating and waving to the fans. But the fans came on, and he was trying to protect the fans, and somehow the fire truck rolled over his leg and it had to be amputated. So sorry to hear that. Prayers go out to him, to Sergeant Dodge and his family. He's not dead, thank goodness, but his leg was amputated, part of his leg. So some sad news. This day in sports, July 14th, the New York Times declares that Babe Ruth's 700 career home run will stand for a long time. It did, but now two people passed him. Hank Aaron passed him in 1974, and Barry Bonds passed him in, I believe, in 2006. So Babe Ruth is third on the all-time home run list. So that record did not stand on all time. 1967, Houston Astro third baseman Eddie Matthews hits his 500 career home run off of Juan Marichal. 1968, the following year, Atlanta Brave Hall of Famer Hank Aaron hit his 500 career home run off of, again, another giant, San Francisco Giant, Mike McCormick. My team is giving up home runs, historic home runs. 1974, Billy Martin, remember him? Billy Ball is the first American League manager ejected by Empire from 2 games in 1 day. They must have had a doubleheader, so he probably said something out his way, which he said the magic word in the first game and got kicked out. Second game must have happened the same way, got kicked out. So he holds that distinct record of the first manager in the American League. 1987, Rookie of the Year award has been renamed in honor of Jackie Robinson. Yes, so 1987 is the new Rookie of the Year is named after the late, great Jackie Robinson. Birthdays, 1932, Roosevelt Greer, known as Rosie Greer, NFL player, actor, and minister, born in Culpeper, Georgia. Yes, Rosie Greer was some kind of player. He was an actor, and I didn't know he was a minister. So that's something I'm glad to see. 1967, Robin Ventura, Major League Baseball infielder, was born in Santa Maria, California. 1974, Eric Dampier, basketball player, NBA center, was born in Jackson, Mississippi. 1975, Tim Hudson, Major League Baseball pitcher, was born in Columbus, Georgia. And 1985, Devell Rivas, NFL cornerback, was born in Acapulco, Pennsylvania. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a busy week here in the Queen City of Charlotte.
Billy Martin was good about, just like you said, he got kicked out of 2 games in 1 day.
Probably got kicked out of a lot of bars too.
So, and he got fired 5 times from the Yankees. Wasn't it 5 times?
5 times, yeah.
What it was about Billy Martin. But they said some people who worked with them said, I only know Billy Martin like the rest of the world knows him. You watch him on TV, But some people say that he was a really nice guy, and then other people say, once he got drunk, he was hell on wheels. He
was a different person. Yeah. A different person. Yeah.
Maybe he just didn't. He was probably one of those guys that just didn't take anything from anyone and went against the grain. A lot of people do that, though.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Billy Martin was very, very strange individual who loved the game. You got to give him credit. He loved the game.
Yeah.
His teammates would hang out buds with Phil Rizzuto, Whitey Ford, and Mickey Mantle.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they went to a lot of bars when they were on the road,
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Billy Martin wasn't a great player at all, but he was a great teammate to everybody who says, So yeah, Billy Martin, the late, great Billy Martin.
You remember the Yankee story when Mickey Mantle, Whitey Ford, Ralph, I think it was Ralph Bauer. No. Ralph Houck. Is it Ralph Houck or?
Ralph Houck, he's the former manager of the Yankees.
No, but I don't think he's the one. What's the other guy? Had that real tough Irish looking, tough look. I can't think of his name.
Roger Maris?
No, Bauer. What's his name? Bauer?
Hank Bauer.
Hank Bauer, yeah.
Hank Bauer, yeah.
They were all running buddies, and they went to the Copacabana. I don't know if you heard the story or not. They all went to the Copacabana to see Sammy Davis Jr. And there was one drunk out there that was heckling Sammy Davis Jr. and then calling him the racist name. And Hank Bauer Hank Bauer followed him to the men's room and took him in the men's room and beat the hell out of him. You ever heard that story?
I didn't hear that story, but it sounds like that's what Yankee players would do.
Yeah,
in those days, the majority of the players, they looked out for one another regardless of what color you were.
Right. But they enjoyed Sammy Davis Jr. show, but that drunk, just because it wasn't a matter of him heckling Sammy Davis Jr., because you're going to get heckled once in a while. But I think when he used that terminology, I think that's what pissed off Hank Bauer. And Hank Bauer, man, you look at his face, man, I don't think he's the kind of guy you wanted to mess with. He looked rugged, tough, but he followed that guy in the men's room and beat him.
My goodness. Oh.
I love to hear those Yankee stories, though. I got more Yankee stories, but we'll talk about them another time, involving Mantle and all those guys. I love to hear those stories, though. Yes. Okay, Brian, I guess we'll catch you back here next week.
Yes, catch me back here the next week, the next 2 weeks, and 3 weeks from now, I'll be on vacation for a week.
Oh, that's right. You got a big vacation coming up.
Yeah, in 3 weeks. The first week in August, the second week in August, something like that. Yeah.
And you're going to be going on a cruise.
On a cruise, yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, man. We'll talk about that when that time comes. We'll work out something. Okay. Sure.
Exactly. So
okay. Anyway, you have a great weekend.
Everybody enjoy, Pete. If you're out there, enjoy a good weekend. Everybody be safe out there. It is summertime, so be safe in whatever you do. Take care.
Talk to you later. Okay, that's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Of course, he's here every week at this time. And of course, he brings you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And of course, if you have any questions about sports or anything, he's the man to talk to. He knows it all. And he will give you all the little stories. I love talking those stories of sports stories behind the scenes, just as the one I just gave you with the Yankee clubhouse when they went to the Copacabana. There's a lot of stories like that. I heard a lot. I keep up with the Yankee stories of old, because they're more fascinating and they're just fun to talk about. Next week, when I talk to Brian, we'll talk about that again, because I have another Yankee story that he probably didn't know about, but I just want to talk to him about that. If you're just joining us, and the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan, and I'm here with you as every week, and we're here for a whole full hour. And if you're just joining us right now, we thank you so much for being along with us. Remember that we're here in 3 different places. We're live on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram. And of course, whatever little time we have right now, if you're watching us on Facebook, take the time right now to tag a few of your friends. We have a few minutes in the show. We have a few minutes to go. And tag some of your friends and let them know that we're out here and we are here and we're going to continue to be here for, I guess, the next 20, 21 minutes, 22 minutes or so. We're here. So, tag them what's left of the show and let them in on the action too. And by the way, for you guys who are watching us on Instagram, just keep following us and tell your friends about it. And for all of you guys who are watching us on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Take that little mouse and click on where it says subscribe, and you're on your way, because that will give you the opportunity to know that whenever we come on live, or if we so much as post a video, you'll get notification when you're online, and that will give you a reminder. And all you have to do is just click onto that notification and it brings you directly to the YouTube channel. Fair enough? Good enough. Thank you again for being along with us. Again, hi to everybody who have popped in. And again, for those of you who don't want to take the time to talk to us, Later on, I am going to give you information how you can contact me personally and give us your thoughts. And if you have any questions about the show or anything like that, we'll have all of that for you. Okay. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Okay. We've got some information here. Here's a DJ Pete segment right here. We're going to go and talk about some entertainment right now because we're at that time in the show and part of that 2020 feature. Let's go to July 9th. July 9th, we have a guy by the name of Joe Liggins. Joe Liggins was born July 9th in 1916. Now let's talk about him. Now, let's see. He was an American jazz and blues pianist and vocalist. And Joe Liggins, he's been around all of these years, all that kind of, he kind of revolutionized a lot of this great stuff, such as the people back in those days did. Anyway, he was born in July 9th, that's Brian's birthday, July 9th, 1916, and he died July 31st. In 1987, he was 71 years old. So listen, he was born early July and died late July. That's a little coincidence. So happy birthday in heaven. And we move right along. We have Cootie Williams. We all heard about Cootie Williams. He celebrated a birthday July 10th, Cootie Williams. And Cootie Williams was born. He was let's see. He was born in Mobile, Alabama. Cootie Williams was born in Mobile, Alabama, and began his professional career at the age of 14 years old with a young family band. And he was one of the big jazz guys back then. Well, anyway, he was born in 1911, July 10th, and he was born in Mobile, Alabama. He died September 15th in 1985. He was 74 years old. So again, happy birthday to Cootie Williams. Thurston Harris. Now, I remember Thurston Harris. I played some of his records. He was born July 11th in 1931. Thurston Harris, if you don't know that name, he was the one originally who recorded Little Bitty Pretty One. And Thurston Harris did it. I know Frankie Lyman did a version of it. Clyde McFadden did a version of it. But anyway, he was an R&B singer. And he died April 14th in 1990 at the age of 58 years old. And he was born in Indianapolis, Indiana. And when he passed away in California, Pomona, California. That's where he died. So he did that song. And if those of you don't remember that song, Little Bitty Pretty One, that goes back to, I guess, my memory serves me right, it's like the late 50s. And then, as I said, Frankie Lyman cut a version of that. And so did Clyde McFadden. Joe Houston, or Houston, however you want to pronounce it. You say tomato, I say tomato, 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 potato, potato. Let's call the whole thing off and just talk about July 12th, 1926 is when he was born. Now, he was born in Austin, Texas. He was born in Austin, Texas. And he was a saxophonist. And I think he indulged in jazz, I believe, because most of them did back then. He was changed to saxophone later. And as, well, he was a trumpeter. He was a trumpeter first, and then he changed to saxophone. You see, a lot of musicians, they do that. And I'll give you, and one comes to mind is Sammy Davis, who played every instrument on the face of the earth. Anyway, we don't have a date of deceased, or is he still around? Oh, yes. Well, he was born on July 12th in 1926, and he passed away December 8th. In 2015. So there you go. We pay homage to him. And thank you so much. Let's see. Sam the Man Taylor. I know this guy very well. Not personally, but I remember playing his records. He was a jazz saxophonist. and I could talk on the top of my head about Sam the Man Taylor. If you know music from Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, right? If you know that kind of music, and you notice that some of the bridges in the music contain saxophone riffs, well, that was Sam the Man Taylor. And Sam the Man Taylor was born July 12th in 1916. And as I said, he was a jazz musician, and he played in a lot of shows too. I know he was one of the talents that played regularly with the Allan Freed show, because Allan Freed played a lot of that music and a lot of talent, a lot of jazz musicians. Anyway, jazz and rhythm and blues was his specialty. Sam the Man Taylor, loved him. Moving right along, Uncle Milty, and you know him as Milton Berle. He was born July 12th, and he was born in 1908. Uncle Milty. Uncle Milty was a comedian. Milton Berle was a comedian. He was the big, he had a radio show, and when TV came into action, he became a TV personality. He was known for the Texaco Star Show, and that was a sponsor, Texaco Gasoline. You know, a lot of people may ask, what Texaco Gasoline? You know, that was a long time ago. I remember Texaco Gasoline. Anyway, Texaco used to sponsor his show, Texaco Star Show. And Milton Berle died March 27, 2002. And Milton Berle was also an actor, comedian and actor. He had a part, that comes to mind. He played on the Oscars. I remember that. Okay, and July 13th, 1928, Al Rex. Who's Al Rex? Okay, we're about to learn right now. Al Rex was born on July 13th, 1928, died May 24th in 2020. He was known as a stage name. That was a stage name, Al Rex. But his real name was Albert Floyd Petrucci. Okay, and he was an American bass player. He played for Bill Haley in the Comets, and a lot of other great things that he did. So that's how we know him, Al Rex. So we send our condolences out to him because he's no longer with us. Okay, we go over to today's date. Here we go. July 14th, that's today. Claude and Cliff Trenner. I don't know, were they born together? I don't know. Let's look at that right now. The Trenners. And let's see. Weren't they the guys, the Trenner sister, they were twins. Okay, so now I got it. They were twins. So they were born again July 14th, 1919. And what were their specialty? Their specialty, I believe, was jazz, wasn't it? Jazz, R&B, jazz, and blues. That was their specialty. So we go back way back with the Trenners. So here we go. And finally, one of my favorite kind of people, Linda Ronstadt was born July 15th, which tomorrow will be her birthday. Linda Ronstadt, born 1946. Linda Ronstadt with a lot of great hits. She originally came from a group called the Stone Ponies, and she's still with us, of course. She's long retired because of her illness that she couldn't conquer that would affect her singing voice. So we live off of her legacy of music that she has now. And what a voice she had, you know, and of course, I love to hear her sing in Spanish, you know. Linda Ronstadt, if she's watching or listening, or if this gets back to her, I want Linda Ronstadt to know that I really miss her. I miss her so much. I miss her so much, but I'm glad she's still alive and living here in the world today. So that's where we have it, all of that information for you. And that's what we have for entertainment. Now, birthdays today. We have birthdays today. Birthdays for today. Actor Matthew Fox is 57 years old today. Actress Jane Lynch, who played on Glee, she's 63 today. Music executive Tommy Mottola, who was married to Mariah Carey, he's 74 years old today. The following people no longer with us, but celebrated birthday today, would have been celebrating their birthdays. Actress, singer Polly Bergen would have been 83. Actor Dale Robinson would have been 100 years old. And former US President Gerald Ford would have been 110. And folk singer Woody Guthrie would have been 111 years old. And let's see. Animator William Hanna. Remember Hanna-Barbera? Well, William Hanna would have been 113 years old today. And we thank him because if it wasn't for him and his sidekick, Mr. Barber, we wouldn't have the great Hanna-Barbera cartoons that we grew up with. So happy birthday to all of them. A lot of great birthdays out there. All right, so happy birthday to them all. Okay, you're just watching us and you're just coming in. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan, and I'm here with you for the remaining of the hour. We don't have too much farther to go, but we're here, and whatever little time that you have, we have that much little time. Please, you can still have the opportunity right now to tag all of your friends if you're watching us on Facebook. Now, for those of you who don't indulge in conversation, we always tell you, to give us a weather forecast. Now, we didn't give you the weather forecast just yet. Why don't we do that right now? Why don't we do that right now? We want to do the weather forecast because we didn't do it early. We usually do it early in the show. And we didn't have time. So we're going to take the time out right now and do that. Let's see if we can find it, first of all, right? Let's see if we can find it. Okay. We're going to have to fish for it now. Again, I don't know how we lost it, but we're going to have to fish for it again. And let's see. The weather forecast, we'll find it. We'll find it. I don't know, sometimes I lose it. I have it. I usually have it with me, but sometimes for some reason I lose it. But we'll find it. We'll go through the we have to go through a list here. And that's how we find it. We go through a list and find it. Let's see, current time, and we don't want time, we want weather, right? We want weather. So we're looking down, we're looking down, and we still can't find it. Okay. Okay, I think we found it. Okay. Our weather forecast for today, it looks like this. What we have presently is 78 degrees outdoors right now. And we're going to be getting some rain. I know in Charlotte, North Carolina, Brian said he had a little rain out there. So this is what we're going to get for the weekend. And we're going to go through it very, very quickly because we have a lot of other things to do. Okay, we got mostly cloudy skies this morning, scattered thunderstorms developing this afternoon, gusty winds, and a small hail will prevail. After possible. That may be possible. We'll have a high around 84 degrees. Winds will be south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And chance of rain will be 50% for tonight. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially during the evening. We'll have a low 73 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. Chance of rain will be 60%. For Saturday, it's going to be intervals of clouds and sunshine in the morning with a lot of clouds. Some clouds will be coming in. So this is not the best weather forecast I can give you for the weekend. Clouds for later in the day, and we'll have a stray shower or thunderstorm, and that's possible. We'll have a high 87 degrees. Winds will be south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. That's for Saturday. For Saturday night, will be cloudy skies early with thunderstorm developing late at night. And we'll have a low around 75 degrees. Winds will be south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 60%. And our Sunday forecast, if you're going out to church or you're doing outdoor activities, think about that. Thunderstorms likely. Potential heavy rain will prevail. We'll have a high 86 degrees. Wind south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour, chance of rain 70%. And again, looking at our present temperature, we have 76 degrees outdoors and rain off and on during the weekend. That's the best I can do for you. If you'd like to get in touch with me, please, you can do that. You can email me or you can call me. My email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled A-L-L-A-N, Prod is P-R-O-D. That's short for Productions, Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Or you can call me at 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. You can call me and you want to critique the show or you want to know more about this show. Anything that you want to talk about, even if you just want to say hi, that's well and good too. But please, just be diplomatic about it. That's all. All right. And so again, that telephone number, email address first is frankallanprod at AOL.com. That's frankallanprod at AOL.com. And the telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. I have movies for you. Those of you who are inclined to watch movies over the weekend, you want to catch up on some movies. I have my picks of the week from Turner Classic Movies. So let's get started with that right now. Going back to 1971, Shaft with Richard Roundtree and Moses Gunn. That's on Turner Classic Movies. You can check that out. Saturday at 3:45 a.m. That's Friday night, Saturday morning. That's late, but if you don't stay up that late, DVR it and watch it at your own convenience. That's Shaft, Saturday at 3:45 a.m. Eastern, and that's on Turner Classic Movies. Dial M for Murder from 1954 with Ray Milland, Grace Kelly, and Robert Cummings. You can check that on Turner Classic Movies too, but that's on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Dial M for Murder. Marriage on the Rocks, a nice comedy from 1965 starring Frank Sinatra, Deborah Kerr, and Dean Martin. That's on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, and it's all right there on Turner Classic Movies. Now, you can go on Turner Classic Movies because there could be more movies that you like that I didn't mention, only because these are my picks of the week, but there may be other ones you may want to put in your bucket of list of what to watch. And if you don't get a chance to see it in real time, again, you can DVR them all. Also, you can go movie on demand. They have great movies from A to Z. You can watch all of those movies from the past and the whole list of them. Also, if you're a sports person, you can go on demand and check out some of your favorite sports that you can't get a chance to see or you missed out on. Go on demand and check it out the following day. And a lot of times, no commercial interruptions, sometimes, not all the time. And then you have the documentaries, a lot of great documentaries and children program and everything is right there. So please be in mind that you have a whole lot to choose from when you go on demand, and it's all right there. And get as much as you can out of it because we don't know how long this strike is going to be on with the unions. And so that's great entertainment for you. But I do know Turner Classic Movies, that has nothing to do with the union. We'll keep giving you that each week. Okay, so let me give you those movies once again so you'll know for the weekend, my picks of the week for the weekend. And we start off again, Shaft with Richard Roundtree and Moses Gunn. That's on Turner Classic Movies Saturday at 3:45 a.m. Eastern. You have Dial M for Murder with Ray Milland, Grace Kelly, and Robert Cummings. That's Turner Classic Movies Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. And also Marriage on the Rocks starring Frank Sinatra, Deborah Kerr, and Dean Martin. That's Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. All of that on Turner Classic Movies. I hope that you get a chance to watch them, and I hope that you will enjoy them. They're great movies, and so please keep that in mind. They're all right there for your asking, and please enjoy them. They're great movies, all right? And that's going to wrap it up for me, ladies and gentlemen. I had a great time. I hope you did too. I will be back here come next week, right here on Talk Back Live next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And Brian Kemp will be with me, and he'll be here with all of the sports to be talking about that. And I hope that you'll be here too for a conversation as well. Other than that, I will be back here next Friday at 10 a.m. for more of the coffee hour. And we'll bring your coffee and your donuts, and we'll have a conversation. Brian, of course, will be here with sports just as well. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and we'll catch you back here soon. You take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host, Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant, Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer, Donna Stanky. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.